Hey folks, Andrew here. It is that time, folks. The Doctor has landed for a brand new phase, brand new adventures, new enemies and new. It is Doctor Who Season 8, broadcast in the UK on the 23rd of August 2014, and I've been really looking forward to seeing this series, of course, being the fact he's a brand new Doctor. Peter Capaldi, of course, was announced last year, and for me that was a golden choice. That was a really fantastic move to bring a more mature actor, to bring an older actor into the mix again, showing to the actual audience and Doctor Who fans, new and old, that we can still do creative writing, we can still pick the best actor for the role and not just go for the young, kind of sexy, handsome guy, whatever it is. You know, I think this series will divide some Doctor Who fans. I think the true core hard Doctor Who fans will stick around and watch it, of course, because at the end of the day, the very first Doctor was William Hartnell way back in the 60s, and I think you will weed out some of those kind of fangirls that were fancying kind of David Tennant and Matt Smith's era of Doctor Who, and hopefully the writing will be better. Stephen Moffat, you were on your last line here. You better deliver on this really good series. You know, no excuse now. There's no Sherlock or anything. There's no 50th anniversary or whatever. You know, I think season 7 as a whole series, it had some dodgy moments. Was being split into two halves. Luckily, he made it up for the 50th anniversary and the Christmas special. I'm hoping that he delivers big time with this series, and so far so good. It's looking pretty decent, but time will certainly tell. And I'm quite curious to see how they approach this version of the Doctor. I think Peter Capaldi is a very interesting actor with his work. If you've seen him in, of course, The Thick of It and Into the Loop, things like that. He's not afraid of swearing. He's definitely Scottish. He's got that really good personality that everyone loves, and I think mixing that with a Doctor Who universe would be very interesting. I'd love to see how he gets really angry and really aggressive and get in there. And being the fact the second episode is into the Dalek, I think is a great main villain for him, proper villain for him to actually tackle, and see how he approaches it and see how the writing changes throughout the series, because you're not writing for Matt Smith no more. You don't have those quirks and those kind of silly anthems that he did in a sense. So I'm looking forward to seeing this series, and I think I can speak to most of the Doctor Who fans out there. I think he's a welcome addition to the Doctor Who universe. This episode, of course, is episode 1, Deep Breath. The opening episode directed by Ben Weasley, who did, of course, Kill List and The Field of England, Sightseers as well. If you've seen those movies, they are dark British, quite violent, movies, and to say, yeah, we need him for the first episode, the BBC to actually go, okay, yes, was a bold choice for sure, and I think he was a really good choice to direct the first 2 episodes, and you can definitely tell it's well directed. And I mean, the first episode is 1 hour and 15 minutes long, great length for a post-regeneration episode, because usually those type of first episodes can be really slow and you get kind of those B villains. The Christmas Invasion was a good example of that. It was a little bit slow and he was getting into the character, this new Doctor, and the 11th Hour was very similar to that as well. I thought that was pretty decent considering it was a post-regeneration episode. This one I thought was quite crucial because we need to reintroduce this new Doctor, what his mannerisms are, and I thought the references to kind of Matt Smith's era and a few other references to the other shows and a few episodes were really cool. And of course he did a Tom Baker joke, which I thought was really cool. You can definitely tell the episode was filmed really well from Ben Weasley. You can tell he allowed Peter Capaldi to definitely do his moment, do his kind of take upon the character and give good direction, stick to the script, definitely for sure. I felt Clara's character in this episode, probably one of the strongest performances she's done throughout the series since season 7, of course. Actually managed to get some decent lines and some good moments, and actually made me think even after the episode, wow, she's actually pretty good in that. And it was about those 2 characters mainly. It was the struggle, and I think they touched upon the actual themes and outside the Doctor universe, with the idea of having an older Doctor, having the handsome fresh guy gone now, and having the actual guy behind it, the actual real face, the real character, the real Doctor. And I really like those the themes and the what it touched upon. And of course, being Clara being a attractive young person, having an older Doctor gentleman in a sense, the writing I felt and the relationship between those 2 were really good in the episode. They really touched upon that, especially the sequence between of course the lizard and the Clara, and they're talking about, like, you know, you judging the Doctor basically. I thought that was a really good, yeah, fair play to her, Clara. You kind of feel like get in there, you know, and definitely give us some good dialogue to actually use some meaty lines for sure, which was seriously lacking with her character in the last series. You know, I still think she's one of the weakest companions, definitely for sure. That's not to her fault. She's a decent actress in outside of Doctor Who. I just felt like Stephen Moffat's not giving her enough, and you know, it's a shame that she is quitting so soon. You know, she is doing, well, this one series and then doing a Christmas special where she's going to leave, and that's X of her character. So I'm hoping she goes out with a really good bang, and from the look of the episode guide, it looks like she does, definitely for sure. Of course, we have returning characters, Jenny and Strax, and of course the Lizard. They're kind of detectives, kind of, you know, of a Victorian age in a sense. They came back in this episode, being the fact that the setting was set within kind of Victorian England. With the opening of the episode having a T-Rex. You know, because of the Doctor basically accidentally bringing it along after the events of the Christmas episode last year. I felt their characters were really well done as well in this episode, really well written, well directed. They were important to the episode and story arc, especially with calming Clara's character down in a sense, and basically giving her like a view of, like, you know, the Doctor's true face has been revealed in a sense. You know, are you going to judge him? And I liked their importance in the role and their investigation angle. I felt, you know, they become character regulars now in the Doctor Who show from the events of, you know, season 6 and 7. So it's always a welcome return when those characters come back, because I think they use them really well, and they do add an extra layer of companions, you know, never ending companions to the show. And I just hope that they continue to write them well and bring them in more appropriate episodes in the future. I definitely would like them to see them in another episode in season 8, or maybe the Christmas special possibly. Also in the episode we have our kind of villain, which is a kind of reference to kind of David Tennant's Fire in the Gold Place, the Bon Voyage, Madame de Pompadour kind of thing. You know, the actual robots harvesting human organs and eyes and shit like that, and repairing their ship. Very similar story arc and reference to that old episode. I felt they were okay for what they were. You know, it was enough B-grade villain for the Doctor to tackle in a sense, practically. So I like the dialogue between, you know, Peter Capaldi's you know, character Doctor, and, you know, the main kind of robot android they talked to. I felt was quite interesting. I like the dialogue. He said, like, I think I'm going to have to kill you, and I like how he approached that in a way. It was very interesting for sure. And of course, not forgetting the final moments of this episode, we have, of course, the cameo from Matt Smith from the events of the last episode, the Christmas special, where he rings up Clara and, you know, basically reassures her, yeah, you know, the Doctor you were with is the Doctor. He needs you. Help him, please. And I felt that was a fantastic sequence. You know, it's a real nice treat, especially for certain fangirls of the show in a way that you know, are still crying and, you know, suffering over Matt Smith's error. You know, the episode really did tackle on those themes of, you know, someone you think is not who he is, you know, and changing, and, you know, you got to accept this new person, an older person in a sense. And I really like the themes in that. It was very similar to the Christmas Invasion within David Tennant's one with Rose, and how she was struggling with, like, she was in love with kind of, you know, Christopher Eccleston's era, and now you got a brand new person, who is he, you know, basically in a sense. So it was nice to have Matt Smith do that little extra cameo and basically just kind of reassure. And I felt it was a really well done scene, put edited together, and, you know, and is, you know, you got Peter Capaldi's, you know, saying is that the Doctor, and, you know, you got Matt Smith on the other end saying, you know, making his jokes, you know, is he old in a sense, you know. I felt that was a really appropriately well done sequence, and did add an extra, you know, boost to the episode for sure. And of course we got our little cameo kind of teaser villain for the end of the episode, which is Missy in a sense. We don't know quite who she is. You know, she got the kind of Victorian dress on, another Scottish actress. I know she's in the season finale from the pictures that we've seen, so she's definitely a big deal. We don't know what her character is. I couldn't know. People were speculating, of course, whether Song could be the Ronin, which is another kind of like the Master type Time Lord villain. That'll be interesting. Or she could be something that's completely brand new, completely original. Could be a companion from the future, for all we know. We just don't know yet at this point, and I'm curious to see how she tackles and how she keeps making little cameos throughout the series, because there's always a kind of a main, you know, theme for each series, different for sure. So I'm curious to see how they use her and how they approach that character for sure. To know your thoughts and opinions, guys, comment down below. In the meantime, I'm just saying, sign out.